Welcome to my channel where we discuss everything and all things politics, especially the 2023 presidential election. Uh, a former presidential aspirant under the People's Democratic Party, Dr. Sylvester Ogbonnia, has written a letter to President Muhammadu Buhari, and he titled the letter, Buhari Endorse Peter Obi now. Of course, this man has already endorsed Peter Obi, and he is based in the United States. And why he is worth paying attention to is because anybody who could afford to reach his hard-earned 100 million naira to buy APC nomination forms deserves a hearing when he take a position on the way forward for his party and for Nigeria. I'll go through some of the excerpts from his letter to Buhari, calling on Buhari to endorse Peter Obi. And then I will give you my takeaway from him, from what he suggested. And then you can also add your view on what you think about it, whether it's necessary for Buhari to endorse Peter Obi, whether he can give Peter Obi any mileage in the race, having Buhari endorsing him. Now, I'll start from where he began to talk about fiscal fitness of the president. So it's important because it's one of the issues that is of concern to him, the fiscal fitness of the next president. And before I go ahead to express, to go through the excerpt of this open letter to the president. If you are new to my channel and you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel, anytime I have a new video, you will be among the first to know. God bless you. Now, this is what Dr. Ogbonnia wrote, excerpt of his letter to President Muhammadu Buhari. He said, the significance of fiscal fitness in leadership explains why candidates seeking power in advanced democracies undergo vigorous health scrutiny before voters can take them seriously. Mr. President, you are a living witness. You have not hidden the fact that the challenges associated with old age did not all go well with the demands of your office. It is not surprising, therefore, that you have not been able to perform to the best of your abilities. To make matters worse, the national leader of our dear party, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the master strategist, who was supposed to serve as the stabilizing force, is suffering from a similar sad fate. His predicament is even worse. Within the past 7 years, he has domiciled in foreign hospitals more than you have done. Needless to mention that his recent public outings do not portray a man who is physically or mentally fit for any serious party leadership. The cumulative effect is that things have truly fallen apart in our party, as well as in Nigeria in general. Today, the level of corruption, which you had declared will kill Nigeria unless Nigeria kills it, is now unfathomable, unfathomable, unfathomable. That's it. It has reached the level of, you know, it has become too rampant. That's what he's talking about. Nobody is it is there on plain sight for everybody to see. Today, our party, the All Progressive Congress, APC, with Tinubu as its national leader, has become a safe haven for notorious corrupt kingpins who are indicted while at the PDP. Today, our party does not appear to have any ideological, moral, or ethical difference from the much discredited PDP. The most shameless yet is that the APC has nominated the same Tinubu as its presidential candidate for the upcoming 2023 election. The implication is that corruption has been embraced as a way of life under your own regime. Common sense dictates that if Tinubu is to prevail, but may God forbid, you will be handing over to a politician who is not only challenged by the stark frailty of poor health and old age, but also someone who is widely disdained for being one of the most cancerous poster characters for corruption in Africa. Mr. President, if Tinubu prevails, you will go down in history as the most shameless political hypocrite ever. I must also admit that Tinubu would not have been a candidate you would wish as a successor. You wanted a level playing ground in our party, but the corrupt cabal within the APC took advantage of your condition to outwit you and handed the prize to the highest bidder. Take, for example, Tinubu's presidential council, where he hoodwinked you to become his chairman. Look at the kind of recycled corrupt characters therein. Mr. President, why are you allowing these characters to further tarnish your image? The saving grace is that the 2023 presidential election presents a golden opportunity to not only redeem your incorrigible legacy, but to also save Nigeria from total collapse. The three candidates with the potential to succeed you are Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, and Bola Tinubu. On one hand, we can both agree that Atiku and Tinubu are the same 10 and 10 pence. The two most influential henchmen of Nigeria's ageless corrupt oligarchy. In short, to elect any of the two is an arrant sin. Please do not have a hand in such a shameless fall from grace. If still in doubt, beside their poor health conditions, please consider that neither of them can in good conscience campaign against corruption. Combine that with the fact that no Nigerian leader, whether military or civilian, has ever assumed the governance of the country with the type of corrupt background well known of Atiku and Tinubu. Think back, Mr. President. On the other hand, we have Peter Obi of the Labour Party. Like you, he is well known for the frugal management of resources and has no record of corruption. Like you, he does not buy votes. Like you, he is determined to kill corruption as you would wish. Like you, in 2015, instead of waiting till election day to deploy looted funds to rig election, Obi has demonstrated the physical ability to traverse the entire country to ask for votes. Luckily for you and Nigeria, Unlike you, he is younger and in a better state of health to overcome the unfortunate fruitless um, to overcome the unfortunate frailties that hindered your performance. Moreover, he has a clear vision and the character to unleash Nigeria's abundant potential to greatness. Of course, I can relate to the burden associated with promoting a candidate of the opposite party. But as I had stated, while equally endorsing Obi, we must not hide behind the bogus toga of political parties, tribes, and religion to allow a crooked clique to dictate our future. I emulated President Olusegun Obasanjo and other progressives who chose country over party to endorse you in 2015. I took a page from Colin Powell, an eminent American patriot and lifelong Republican who crossed party lines to endorse Barack Obama of the Democratic Party in 2008. Powell saw Obama as a transformational figure who could inspire a new generation of Americans. A new generation of Nigerians beckons you to stand on the right side of history. This is what Dr. Ogbonnia wrote to President Muhammadu Buhari, emphatically telling him Tinubu is a no-no, Atiku is a no-no. But this letter, as far as I'm concerned, may be coming too late. Because already these characters he talks about have emerged and they are going to unleash money on Nigerians to buy their vote and their conscience. Already they are making every effort to buy the clergies, both of the Muslim and Christian faiths. Already they are buying up many powerful leaders to join them in emerging the president of the country. They thought that they can buy their way through. They have already bought their way to the presidential ticket of their various parties. I'm talking about Atiku Abubakar and Aswad Bola Ahmed Tinubu. What is left now is to break the bank and buy the whole country. Can they be able to do it? Former Secretary to the federal government, Baba Shilawa, say no man has enough money to buy over the whole country. That it is easier to buy the delegates. It is very, very difficult to buy the whole of the country. But I can bet that these two men, Atiku and Tinubu, they will try to see how far they can go. Now, what is my takeaway on this? My takeaway on it is first that there is a big problem in APC, caused largely by the choices that the APC made the day they are accepted or voted for Aswad Bola Ahmed Tinubu to become its presidential candidate. Like Dr. Ogbonnia noted, in the past 7 years, Tinubu have been in hospital more than even Buhari. Why his own was not noticeable is because Tinubu is not the president. He was just a mere father figure known as national leader of the party. A title that in actuality doesn't mean anything. It's not recognized in the constitution of the party. Because when you talk about the national leader of APC, the national leader of APC is President Muhammadu Buhari. That's really a person that has power as the leader of APC. So they use that just to, to dress Aswad Bola Tinubu to make him feel important. So whether he's in the country or not, nobody really needed him. He's not running the party, he's not doing anything, just holding a title, national leader of the party. So, like this author captured it very well. So for 7 years, he has been in and out of hospitals in outside Nigeria, more than President Muhammadu Buhari. Yet, that is the person the APC chose to be their presidential candidate, knowing what happened under Buhari, or what happened under Buhari in his first term and even second term, when he was in and out of hospitals, and how the thing affected governance. And if not that Professor Sibanjo is a gentleman, such frequent travels without recourse to the constitution created a lot of administrative challenges. We all are aware of how Abba Kyari, the former chief of staff to the president, used to take files to London to Buhari to sign. Files that ordinarily should have been left for Professor Yemi Osibanjo, the vice president, to sign if Buhari had done proper handover before leaving the country. They know all these challenges. They were aware of it. And yet they voted Aswad Bola Tinubu to be their candidate. Why did they do that? Now they have created a problem for their party. Right now, as I speak to you, he is not yet back in the country. And they are covering it up by showing pictures of him in suits, at the gym, and all whatnot. So it is the APC that boxed itself into a corner. But the major takeaway is that there is a problem in APC. This man writing this is just one of the few people that have voiced their own feelings. Some people are just holding themselves. Some people are holding themselves because they don't want to go public. So APC has a serious internal problem. Now, this doctor has endorsed Peter Obi. I can tell you, there are many people in APC that are endorsing Peter Obi in their hearts. And they will speak and speak loudly during election. Because it will be like what happened to Goodluck Jonathan in 2015. Many people in PDP were not speaking. Those who were speaking, who were loud, they left the party. But many people were inside working against Jonathan, inside the party. So this is what is playing out. There are people now in APC. Even their names are in the APC at Tinubu's presidential council, campaign council, who will work against Tinubu, who are not happy with the situation of his emergence as the presidential candidate of the party. So that's my first takeaway from Dr. Ogbonnia's call on Buhari to endorse Peter Obi. Then another thing is that he has also confirmed it here that Tinubu is perceived as very corrupt. And he noted a very important thing. He said, none of these people, Atiku and Tinubu, none of them will you hear talk about corruption or that they will fight corruption. Because even if they say they will fight corruption, it will be unbelievable. Because they epitomizes all that is wrong with Nigeria in terms of corruption. Of course, people can say that who has convicted them. That is always the alibi they will give. But perception is everything. If you look at the processes of identifying, of gauging corruption in the world by Transparency International, it is based on corruption perception index. It's not talking about those who have been convicted, just the perception, corruption perception index, CPI. If you go and check uh, Transparency International corruption reports, that is what they use in weighing nations. How do people perceive your country? How do people perceive things in your ministry, parastatals? So Tinubu and Atiku, they are perceived as corrupt. And that perception is not misplaced. That's what this man is saying. So say, how can Buhari, who came to power under the mantle of anti-corruption, hand over to somebody like Tinubu? He said Buhari will become the biggest hypocrite ever in history. Of course, that's what it will mean. If on May 29, 2023, he hands over the reins of power to Tinubu, that's what it means. And this is Buhari that prides himself that he has been given the title of Africa champion, anti-corruption champion by the AU. And then he will hand over to Tinubu. So this man is against it. So he didn't want that to be the end of the Buhari regime, that what he will be remembered, despite all the years of talking against corruption, is to hand over to Tinubu, who is the poster face of all that is wrong with Nigeria. Godfatherism and all that. Now, can Buhari's endorsement benefit Peter Obi? I do not think it will benefit Peter Obi, because Buhari administration has performed poorly in all the sectors. So whoever Buhari is endorsing is actually a negative for that person. So it will be a negative on Buhari to endorse Peter Obi. Because even in APC, they started marketing Tinubu not on Buhari's record. The first time Adams Oshomole, the former national chairman of the party, was on television to sell Tinubu. He said that Tinubu is not going to run under the legacy of Buhari, that Tinubu was not in government, he was never part of government, that Tinubu will be the only person that could be judged on the record of Buhari is Professor Yemi Osibanjo, who is the vice president and who is the head of the economic council, that Tinubu has never been part of the government. And if you see Tinubu when he talks, he said that he has never asked for anything from the government, he has never demanded for anything. All that he wants is that this is his turn. So initially they wanted to manage Tinubu to run on his own record in Lagos. Of course, this is a record that has also been disputed, but at least that's what they wanted him to run under, and not run under the record of Buhari, because there is a lot of negatives in virtually all the sectors. Is it security? Is it power? Is it education? Is it infrastructure? Virtually every angle under Buhari is negative. So his endorsement of Obi is not going to be of any positive if the candidate of their party is trying to extricate himself from Buhari But of course, when they see that the thing could backfire, they now begin to say that they are going to, Tinubu is going to run on the bold, according to Onanoga, he said the bold accomplishments of Buhari. That's what they're going to run. But if you see most of the things they say about Tinubu, they talk about his record in Lagos as governor. They don't want to carry the baggage of Buhari. So Buhari endorsing Peter Obi is, to me, as far as I'm concerned, it's a no-no. He doesn't need Buhari's endorsement. And I'm sure many Nigerians will not take it kindly if he does that. It could even cause some people to lose, to withdraw their support from Peter Obi. His growing support nationwide could be reduced because Buhari, his government have been characterized by poor performance in all indices of development, to the level that Nigeria became the poverty capital of the world. Nigeria became the highest indebted nation in Africa, and the debt is still growing. Now, can Buhari even help anybody to win an election in 2023? Buhari is very aloof, detached. Because if Buhari is a person who cares about his own legacy, or who is ready to stick out his neck for anybody, he ought to have stuck out his neck for Vice President Yemi Osibanjo and ensure that he emerged as the presidential candidate of the party. Perhaps APC would have been saved from all this shenanigan that revolves around Tinubu's health, his age, and all that. The Muslim ticket, all this would have been an issue for APC. But Buhari was detached, as if he doesn't care. At the end of the day, because he detached himself, the cabals and Tinubu got what they want. And they got Buhari where they want him. And by the time the results of the primary election came out, Buhari became helpless. Even if he doesn't like Tinubu, there's little he can do about it. But if Buhari is somebody like Obasanjo, Obasanjo would have on day one, months before the convention of APC, serve notice that this is where we are going. You either go the way of Osibanjo or you ship out. There are other parties you can go to and contest. But Buhari is not a person of that kind of, doesn't have that kind of leadership quality. So he's not going to stick out his neck. That is why those who are going to challenge Tinubu for this election should march him bumper to bumper, because Buhari will just be watching. Tinubu will start doing so many things. So they have to monitor Tinubu and follow him bumper to bumper, because as he's doing his things, Buhari will be detached watching. Just as he was detached watching whoever can get the ticket of APC can let him pick it. At the end of the day, Aswaju got it as the highest bidder. So that is what will play out in the national election. So what Aswaju, look at the strategy Aswaju has used now. He went and appointed Burutai as in his campaign council. Why? Because he wants to use Burutai to enter the military cycle. So people should watch him very carefully. He wants to use Burutai and the other former chief of defense staff. He has poached them and put into his campaign council. These are the people he will try to use to break the Nigerian military in such a way that if the military are going to be part of the security architecture in the election, which they are going to be, because the police are not enough to man the election. They may try to do something funny. But thank God for beavers. But still, it was not for nothing that Aswaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu got Burutai on his side to be a member of the campaign council. And that is the kind of thing that will play out. Tinubu would like to do things on his own and use Buhari as the arrowhead. That was why in this letter, Dr. Ogbonnia is talking about the fact that they have made you, they are hoodwinking you, Buhari. They want to put you as the figurehead, and then they will, under you, perpetuate something that will cause their own emergence as president, which will tarnish your record. That's what he's telling Buhari. So because of Buhari's aloofness and detachment, I don't think he's in a position to help it, Obi or anyone to become president. So everybody must ensure that the Electoral Act is followed to the letter, and the INEC and every other stakeholder that is involved in the election plays to the rule. That is the only way to stop Tinubu, because Tinubu would like to penetrate the whole police network, the whole military network, the whole naval network, so that they can see how they can be able to manipulate this technology that INEC has brought to save the country from election rigging and corruption, so that it doesn't work. Now, finally, my final takeaway is this. What Obi needs from Buhari is the conduct of free and fair election. He doesn't need Buhari's endorsement. Buhari has promised at his last United Nations meeting, which he attended recently, he promised the world that he will conduct free and fair election. Let him stick to his words. Let him do as he said. Let him ensure that the 2023 general election, especially the presidential election, is free and fair. And that anything that will make the beavers and the technology that is going to be unleashed for that election, anything that will stop it from working, they should work on it, so that on election day, technology will work seamlessly without any hitches at all. I think that is what Peter Obi needs from President Muhammadu Buhari, so that it will now be in the hands of Nigerians to decide who becomes the next president of Nigeria. And I know that Nigerians are reasonable people. There is no way they would like to hand over their destiny to Tinubu or Atiku Abubakar. Thank you for watching this video. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you.